Have you ever felt like your body is thinning out? Not in terms of weight, but that strength, that momentum, that feeling of stability when you stand up, walk, or reach for something on a shelf. Initially, it's just a slight slowdown, a deeper breath when climbing stairs, a moment of unsteadiness when standing up a bit too quickly, but then those slight moments start to become always. And the strange thing is, you're still eating enough, still living normally, no serious illness, no pain at all. So why does your body keep getting weaker, day by day, week by week, as if someone is quietly pulling away your muscle mass without you even knowing it? The truth is, there are things we do every day, repeatedly, with no one to remind us, no one to stop us. They don't cause immediate harm, but if left unchecked for months or years, they will lead your body into a state of silent breakdown. No sound, no warning signs. And the consequence is called muscle loss or sarcopenia. In today's video, I'll be exploring with you 9 habits that seem unrelated but are actually quietly causing your body to lose strength. And the great thing is, if we realize it early, just a few small changes, it's enough to reclaim that stability, that independence, and the belief that I'm still in control of my body. Are you ready? Let's begin, habit by habit, to understand, to change, and to avoid watching your body weaken without knowing why. There are diseases that make us worry as soon as we hear their names, but there are also silent diseases. No pain, no fever, no rash. And because of that, we often don't notice them until the consequences are clearly visible in the mirror. Sarcopenia is one such condition. It won't make you faint. It won't send you to the hospital immediately. It just slowly takes away, bit by bit, muscle mass, strength, and steady steps. Many people assume sarcopenia is an inevitable part of aging, but the truth is, it doesn't happen to everyone. And more importantly, it can be prevented if you know how. Sarcopenia, simply put, is the gradual loss of lean muscle mass and strength, not due to a major illness, but because of the daily aging process. And when muscle is lost, we lose many other things. Agility, the ability to balance, even confidence when walking in your own home. Someone with muscle loss doesn't necessarily look thin. They can still be overweight. They can still be plump. But when they need to stand up, they wobble. When they have a minor fall, it's hard for them to get back up on their own. Muscles, especially after age 60, don't regenerate as easily as before. They need to be activated, nourished, and protected every day. Otherwise, they will quietly withdraw, without fanfare. And sadly, many people don't even know they're losing muscle. Because they're still eating normally, they still don't feel sick until a fall makes them unable to stand up, or a familiar flight of stairs suddenly seems too long. Sarcopenia doesn't come from a single cause. It's the result of many small habits, repeated over many years, and that's precisely why we can prevent it, by changing each of those small things. Right now, let's dive into each habit together to understand why the body can weaken even without illness, and more importantly, how to make the body understand that we still need it to be strong. The first habit, it sounds simple, but it's the most overlooked, is not drinking enough water. Older adults often don't feel thirst as clearly as younger people. The sensation of needing to drink gradually fades, so they might just drink a few sips after meals each day, sometimes replacing water with tea or coffee, and then automatically assume, I'm still healthy, drinking less won't hurt. But your body doesn't think that way. Muscles, which seem like solid mass, actually contain over 70% water. Water isn't just for cooling, it's the conductor for all kinds of vital reactions. If you're dehydrated, your muscles will be like dry fields without irrigation, unable to absorb nutrients, unable to contract smoothly, and unable to regenerate properly. Many people ask, I don't feel thirsty, but by the time you feel clearly thirsty, your body is already dehydrated. It's like only noticing you forgot to water a plant once its leaves have turned yellow. The concerning thing is, dehydration doesn't just make your body tired. it also triggers a silent chain of reactions that cause muscle breakdown from within. Recent observational research published in the journal Nutrients tracked a group of people over 70 and found those with signs of mild but prolonged dehydration had significantly higher levels of a muscle breakdown marker, 3-methylhistidine. This indicates that simply not drinking enough water forced the body to cut back on muscle to maintain internal balance, and the consequences don't appear immediately. They accumulate day by day until you feel tired standing up from a chair. Your hands tremble when you lift something. You get out of breath after a few quick steps, as if your body is falling a beat behind. Try to look back at your daily habits. Do you sometimes only think about drinking water when you're truly thirsty? Do you frequently drink strong tea, coffee, or soda, but forget a glass of plain water? Do you wake up in the morning and only take a small sip, then rush into chores? No one is saying you have to drink 2 liters a day immediately. But if every morning you drink a glass of warm water, if at midday you stop for a few minutes to drink half a glass, if in the afternoon you replace your second cup of coffee with plain water and a few slices of lemon, it's like watering a field consistently, not a lot, just at the right time. The body after 60 doesn't demand much, just a daily message that says, I still remember to nourish you. And your muscles, even though they're older, are still strong enough to respond if you genuinely care. When you don't drink enough water, your muscles are like a neglected field, lacking nutrients, lacking exchange, lacking vitality. But sadly, that's only half the story, because even if you're well hydrated and eating a fairly balanced diet, if your sleep each night is restless and shallow, your body won't have a chance to repair itself either. In other words, you build during the day, but let it collapse at night. Now let's continue to see why sleeping less than 6 hours can cause muscles to withdraw in silence. Habit number 2, sleeping less than 6 hours or having restless sleep. Here's a small question. Try to answer it yourself right now. Last night, how many hours did you sleep? And this morning, how did you wake up? Feeling light or still feeling a bit groggy, your body heavy? Many older adults sleep less, but not because they want to. They sleep lightly. They sleep restlessly. They wake up early but don't feel refreshed. Then they console themselves. At this age, it's okay to sleep less. But the truth isn't that simple. Sleep is when the body repairs itself. Sleep is the time when muscles recover, hormones regenerate, and the brain reorganizes the day's data. If you do something good for your body during the day, then at night sleep itself will package it into real effectiveness. But when you sleep too little, or restlessly and shallowly, the entire recovery process is cut short. The GH-IGF-1 axis, growth and muscle regeneration hormones, doesn't function fully. Instead, the body increases inflammatory alarm substances, CRP, IL-6, and instead of building muscle, it switches to a defensive mode, slowing down all regeneration processes. You can eat enough protein, exercise gently every morning, drink water consistently. But if you lack good sleep, it's like building a house but not having time for the cement to dry. And this isn't speculation. A very large systematic analysis in 2023 tracked over 19,000 people aged 60 and older. The results showed those who slept less than 6 hours per night or had restless, interrupted sleep had a 20 to 40% higher risk of sarcopenia compared to those who slept sufficiently and deeply. Sleep alone can be the deciding factor in whether you maintain or lose muscle mass over time. Many people over 60 believe that poor sleep is normal. But actually, that's a sign your body is struggling and needs help. And help here isn't with sleeping pills, but by looking at your own lifestyle habits. Try to look back. Before bed, do you spend too much time on your phone? Do you eat dinner too late or drink strong tea or coffee after 5 p.m.? Is your bedroom quiet, cool, and dark enough? These seemingly small things are actually quietly determining whether your body will be repaired tonight or continue to wear down in silence. Try to adjust gradually. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Turn off the lights early. Put your phone down early. Don't eat close to bedtime. Just a small change If done consistently, your body will take notice, and one truly deep night's sleep will give you a very special feeling, lighter, stronger, and more energetic, even without doing much. Please try it. Tonight, instead of watching one more episode, try turning off the lights 15 minutes earlier. Then see how your body responds in the morning. Even if you're drinking enough water and getting good sleep every night, your body might still feel tired, muscles weak, and lacking strength. That's because there's something else, often overlooked, but equally important: the lubricants that help all the body's reactions run smoothly. I'm talking about vitamins and essential minerals. And this is the third habit I want to discuss: lacking vitamins and minerals. Try to imagine it this way. Your body is like a car that's been used for many years. The engine's still good, but if it lacks oil, coolant, or lubricants, it will quietly start to degrade. Your muscles are the same. You might be getting enough protein, exercising correctly, and sleeping well. But if you're missing those tiny micronutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, B12, or zinc, all your efforts will be like holding a dead phone trying to call for help. These substances won't make you feel fired up immediately. There are no obvious symptoms like fever or pain. But if the deficiency is long-term, you'll notice feeling tired when standing up, your thighs feeling heavy after a few steps, your limbs always feeling unsteady. And the strangest thing is, the more you eat, the less strength you seem to have. A clinical study gave a group of women over 65 300 milligrams of magnesium daily for 12 weeks. The results showed a significant improvement in leg strength and walking speed compared to the placebo group. This shows that eating enough isn't always enough. It's that the body after 60 needs microcontroller upgrades, not just fuel. A very recent review from JAMDA in 2023 also indicated most studies on magnesium supplementation in older adults show improvements in strength, mobility speed, and functional capacity. Just one tiny mineral, yet it makes a huge difference in quality of life. Now, try to think back. Are you truly eating enough green vegetables every day? Are there any food sources that provide zinc, B12, or magnesium? Have you lived this long without ever having your vitamin D levels checked? This isn't to cause worry, it's to encourage listening, because sometimes the body isn't weak, it's just lacking what it needs to function smoothly. You don't need to rush to the pharmacy and buy a dozen supplements. Just ask yourself with every meal, beyond energy, what's in this food that helps nourish my muscles? A few cashews, a small piece of ocean fish, an egg, or a few spoonfuls of oats. All these are ways to send your body a signal that I still care about the small details because I want to stay healthy for a long time. When the body lacks vitamins and minerals, it's like a machine running dry without proper lubrication. But there's something else also happening silently that makes that entire machine not just dry, but starting to rust from the inside. That's the amount of sugar and refined carbohydrates we consume every day, sometimes unconsciously. Habit 4. Consuming too much added sugar and refined carbohydrates. At age 60 and above, many people still start their mornings with a slice of white bread, a box of orange juice, or a bowl of sugary cereal. For lunch, it's a sandwich on white bread, a little mashed potatoes, and in the evening, a portion of pasta or cookies after dinner. These foods aren't unfamiliar. In fact, they're very convenient and habitual. But that very convenience, if repeated day after day, is a ticket that steers your muscles into a danger zone you might not even realize. Muscles are the largest energy reserve in the body. They need insulin to open the door for sugar from the blood to enter and convert into energy for movement. But if the body is constantly facing high sugar levels from soda, pastries, syrups, or even meals too rich in white carbohydrates, insulin will gradually become resistant. When that happens, sugar isn't absorbed correctly, and instead of providing energy for muscles, it causes silent inflammation and metabolic disruption. Many people think that sugar only affects weight or diabetes, but according to a 6-year prospective study of over 9,000 Americans over 50, Those who consumed more than 36 grams of added sugar daily, equivalent to 1 can of soda and a muffin, experienced a significantly faster decline in hand grip strength compared to the low sugar group. And hand grip strength for older adults isn't just about opening a jar, it's a strong indicator of overall muscle status. Try to recall a recent day of eating. Was breakfast a slice of toast with sweet jelly and a cup of coffee with vanilla creamer? Was lunch a sandwich on white bread and diet soda? In the afternoon, were there a few cookies or a granola bar to curb hunger? All this sounds harmless, but added up, that could be 40 to 60 grams of added sugar every day. Not to mention white carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and crackers also rapidly convert into glucose in the blood, having an effect not much different from sugar. And when this happens frequently, it causes the body to produce more free radicals, leading to oxidative stress, damaging muscle cells, and almost paralyzing the recovery process after exercise. The important thing isn't whether you like sweets, it's, are you consuming sugar every day without realizing it? Because many older adults believe, I don't eat candy. But in reality, sugar is hidden in salad dressings, in fruit yogurt, in breakfast cereals, and even in pre-made deli sandwiches. You don't have to cut all sweets out of your life. You don't have to live a strict life. But if you can swap a slice of white bread for whole grain bread, if you can choose unsweetened milk instead of flavored milk, if you can read labels and choose cereals with under 5 grams of sugar per serving, then you're doing something huge for your muscles without having to change your entire menu. The body after 60 doesn't need more. It just needs a little less wrong. Your muscles will recover if you stop creating conditions for them to be gradually damaged by hidden sugars. So if you feel like you no longer have the strength to lift a pot of water or your hands tremble when pouring coffee in the morning, it might be time to look, not at your arm, but at the spoonful of sugar you're repeating every day without even realizing it. If sugar weakens muscles by disrupting hormones and causing silent inflammation from within, there's something else, even more dangerous, that combines all tricks. It's full of hidden sugars, has preservatives, and makes us keep eating it without getting bored. It's not in a sugar jar, it's not as sweet as cake. It often has an appealing, neat, and very trendy appearance, but inside it's a silent attack on your muscle health. We're talking about ultra-processed foods. Habit 5. Consuming ultra-processed foods and meats high in nitrites. If you open your fridge right now, what will you see? A package of sliced deli ham, a box of hot dogs, a tray of frozen meals, roasted chicken with brown sauce and mashed potatoes, or a small bag of snacks to eat in between meals just for fun? If that sounds too familiar, you're not alone. Ultra-processed foods have become a part of the daily eating habits of many Americans, especially after retirement when people want to simplify cooking. But have you ever wondered, what is that convenience costing you? Ultra-processed foods, UPFs, aren't just quick and cheap items. They're also a long chain of ingredients that your body truly doesn't know how to process. Nitrites, artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives, trans fats. None of these cause immediate stomachache after eating, but they create chronic low-grade inflammation, damage cells, and specifically disrupt the ability of muscles to regenerate in older adults. A large study analyzing data from NHANES 2011 to 2018 showed people who consumed more ultra-processed foods had lower lean muscle mass, especially in the over 60 group. This didn't just affect muscle quantity, but also reduced functional muscle strength, like the ability to stand up, maintain balance, or walk quickly. Try to recall a recent day of yours. Breakfast might have been a microwaved frozen pastry. Lunch was a sandwich with deli meat and bottled mayonnaise. The afternoon might have included a bag of salty snacks and a diet soda. Dinner, a frozen dinner from the supermarket, eaten quickly for convenience. It sounds reasonable, but if you look closely at the ingredient labels, you'll see a list as long as a supermarket receipt, and you might not recognize half the names. The problem isn't with one item, but with the accumulation. A little bit every day, a little bit with every meal, and then your body falls into a low response state, meaning it no longer builds muscle as it used to, and it no longer recovers well after walking or physical activity. The question for you is, are you choosing easy to eat foods that are actually making it harder for you to walk, stand, and balance? And if the answer is maybe, then the good news is you don't have to change everything. Just start with one meal. Replace a frozen meal with something you cooked and froze yourself earlier. Replace deli meat with fresh grilled chicken. Replace packaged snacks with a handful of nuts or berries. You don't need to abandon the entire supermarket. Just choose more carefully in the food aisles. The body after 60 no longer has the excess capacity to process things it doesn't recognize. It needs food that's as close to its natural state as possible. Fewer ingredients, less packaging, fewer secrets inside. And if you help it that way, it will respond by helping you walk more steadily, stand up more easily, and feel more energetic, even after a busy day. So you can take a look at your kitchen today, not to see what you've done wrong, but to know that you still have the power to change, and your body, even at 70, is always ready to recover if you give it a hand. After talking about ultra-processed foods, you might be looking at your own diet and thinking, but I still eat meat and eggs every day, don't I? I still drink milk at night, still have chicken, salmon. The answer is, you probably can get enough protein in a day. But if it's spread out at the wrong times, your body, especially muscles over 60, still can't use it all. The problem isn't just whether you eat it or not, but how much protein your body gets, and when it gets it. Habit 6. Not eating enough protein or saving it all for dinner. Many people have a habit of eating a very light breakfast, sometimes just a slice of toast, some fruit or black coffee. Lunch is simple, a sandwich, soup, a few slices of deli meat. Then comes dinner, making up for it with a proper meal, salmon, tofu, beef, lots of vegetables, plenty of rice or potatoes. It sounds reasonable, but for bodies over 60, this distribution is a major obstacle to protecting and building muscle. A younger person's body can bundle protein as long as the total daily amount is sufficient. But after age 60, muscles begin to lose their strong response to small protein meals. They need to be stimulated multiple times a day with a sufficiently large amount at each meal. Only then can they trigger the protein synthesis signal. A 2023 research review showed that older adults had about 25% better muscle building response when protein was evenly distributed across all 3 meals, compared to the light breakfast, light lunch, heavy dinner style. So, how much is enough? For people over 60, the ideal amount is about 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per meal. For example, if you weigh 155 pounds, 70 kilograms, then each meal should have about 28 grams of protein. This means not just a little egg in the morning, but 2 eggs plus milk or nuts to get enough to activate mTOR, the switch system for muscle building. Think about it. What did you eat this morning? Was there enough protein? Did your lunch yesterday really have protein, or was it just a quick salad? Was your body really activated consistently throughout the day, or just once at dinner? If the answer is not sure, then that's why you might feel you work out constantly, but your arms don't feel stronger. You eat a lot, but still feel weak. You walk every day, but your leg strength doesn't increase. The good news is you don't have to change your entire diet. Just shift some protein from dinner to breakfast and lunch. Instead of just toast and jam for breakfast, try adding 2 eggs, a cup of plain Greek yogurt, or a slice of cheese. Instead of just a salad for lunch, add a serving of grilled chicken breast, canned tuna, or boiled beans. You'll be surprised how, after just 1 to 2 weeks of these small changes, your body starts responding better. Less fatigue after walking, less hand tremors when carrying heavy objects, and the feeling of getting my strength back, even without eating more. An older body doesn't need to be coddled. It needs to be nourished correctly. It's not about filling up the gas tank at the end of the day. It's about steadily pumping small amounts throughout the entire journey. If you've lived nearly 60 years and never considered timing your protein correctly, then today could be the first day to give your muscles what they need most: consistent attention. There's something so common that we almost don't question it anymore. In the morning, a slight shoulder ache. In the evening, a sore back after gardening, and then a Tylenol or an ibuprofen. It helps us feel better immediately. No more aches, easier movement. It feels like the body is unlocked. This is habit number 7 that we're talking about today, taking daily pain relievers, NSAIDs, acetaminophen. At age 60 and above, persistent dull pain is not uncommon, and over-the-counter pain relievers like acetaminophen or NSAIDs, ibuprofen, naproxen seem to be indispensable companions. They help us get through an uncomfortable morning or a tiring afternoon. However, what very few people know is that these seemingly harmless pills, when used frequently, are actually interfering with the muscle repair and building process. Imagine your body after a light walk or a few resistance exercises. At that moment, muscle fibers experience minor damage, and this is a good thing, because that slight tear is the signal for the body to activate the recovery process. Increased protein synthesis, muscle fiber thickening, increased strength. But if you take a pain reliever right after, you're turning off the distress signal, meaning your body no longer knows it needs to recover, needs to rebuild. And so, you exercise, but your muscles don't respond. One study clearly demonstrated this. People aged 60 to 75 performed resistance training for 12 weeks. One group took a placebo, one group took ibuprofen, 1,200 milligrams per day, or acetaminophen, 4,000 milligrams per day. The result? The group taking pain relievers had almost half the rate of muscle protein synthesis compared to the group not taking them. In other words, you can do everything right: drink water, get enough sleep, eat enough protein, exercise every morning. But if you still take pain relievers every day as a reflex, then all those efforts are cut short before they can produce results. Now, I invite you to pause for a few seconds and think about yourself. Are you taking pain relievers daily just to get through the program? Have you ever thought that the pill that helps your joints ache less might be taking away the underlying strength? Of course, not all pain can be endured, and no one is advising you to suffer to preserve muscle, but the important thing is, use medication at the right time, when truly needed, and don't let it become an unconditional habit. If possible, try alternatives before reaching for medication. An ice pack, a gentle stretching exercise, a warm cup of ginger tea, a little rest. And only when those don't work, then the pill can truly provide its value. Muscles after age 60 don't need to grow fast. They just need to be allowed to recover. And recovery is a natural process. It needs signals, it needs time, and especially it needs to be undisturbed by wrong interventions. If you're on the right track, don't let a pill inadvertently send you back to square one. After that seemingly life-saving daily pain pill comes a familiar loop. You take it and rest, letting the pain subside. You don't move for fear of re-triggering old pain. You don't walk because your joints don't feel steady, and so day by day, your body learns to sit more, sit longer, and forget that it once had the ability to stand up actively. You might not notice it, but that very chair in your house, what you think of as a resting spot, is quietly becoming a contract of surrender that you never signed. Habit 8. Sitting motionless for too long each day. Imagine a perfectly normal day. You wake up, make a cup of coffee, turn on the TV, and sit in your usual chair. A bit of morning news, a call from a family member. Time flies. Suddenly it's lunchtime. You move from the couch to the dining table, then back to the chair, perhaps for a short nap. In the afternoon, you read the paper, watch a favorite show, and after dinner, you sit again. In total, you might have sat for over 8 hours a day. Your body isn't protesting. It's still working, still digesting, still breathing steadily. But deep inside, muscle groups, especially in your thighs and glutes, begin to send weaker signals because they're not being called upon, not being used, no longer feeling essential. And the body, being an intelligent system, will gradually cut back on what's not used regularly. A 2023 meta-analysis examined data from over 230,000 adults. The conclusion was very clear. Just a few hours of continuous sitting each day, if repeated regularly, is clearly linked to the risk of lower limb muscle loss. Even if the person has no illness, no malnutrition, still eats enough, and sleeps well. In other words, just sitting too much is enough to weaken your legs. And more dangerously, you don't feel it immediately, because your body doesn't scream in pain, it just stays silent. Until one day, you stand up and realize your knees won't listen anymore. You see? No accident needed, no serious illness needed. Just sitting a little too long each day, and after a few months, a few years, your body quietly changes its structure without you knowing. The fix isn't complicated. No one is forcing you to run or hit the gym for hours. Just break up periods of sitting every 45 to 60 minutes with 2 minutes of standing up, light walking, stretching, or doing a few simple movements like calf raises, hip circles, or standing up and sitting down 3 times. You can keep a glass of water far away, so every time you're thirsty, you're forced to stand up. You can take phone calls while standing instead of sitting, or simply after each TV episode stand up to get water or go to the balcony for some fresh air. It doesn't take much, just consistency. Your body isn't lazy. It's just waiting for a reason to be used, and sometimes that reason is simply you standing up. When you sit longer, your body doesn't just lose muscle, it also loses the habit of standing up and listening to itself. And then, in that silence, many people turn to another habit, lighter, more subtle, and much more socially acceptable. A glass of wine after dinner, a shot of bourbon at the end of the day, a can of beer to cool off. No fuss, nothing wrong with it, just a little something to relax. But if that little something repeats often enough, it can become one of the last things quietly draining your body's strength. You don't need to drink to the point of intoxication. Just consistently consuming more than 2 units of alcohol daily, equivalent to 2 glasses of wine or 2 cans of beer, is enough for your body to enter a state of silent muscle damage. Ethanol, the alcohol in beverages, when it enters your bloodstream, metabolizes into acetaldehyde, a substance your body considers a red flag. And while your liver is busy processing this toxin, your muscle fibers, especially type 2 fast twitch fibers, are neglected and not properly nourished. The result, muscle shrinkage. No fuss, no pain, just slowly getting smaller. A very noteworthy analysis from the UK Biobank in 2023 tracked over 196,000 people aged 40 to 69. They found that those who consumed 40 to 160 grams of alcohol per day, equivalent to 3 to 11 standard drinks, had a 3.6% to 6% reduction in muscle mass height compared to non-drinkers. And notably, the negative effects were more pronounced in people over 60. The sad truth is, your body cannot protect its muscles from the effects of alcohol, even if you get enough sleep, eat enough, and exercise diligently. Because alcohol doesn't just affect muscles, it also disrupts deep sleep, reduces protein absorption, interferes with neuromuscular reflexes, and slows down your entire recovery process, day after day. I'm not saying you have to cut out alcohol completely, but ask yourself a small question. Just for you, no one else needs to know. Am I drinking to enjoy myself or to numb something I don't want to face? If the answer is enjoyment, then enjoy responsibly. A drink on a special occasion, a glass of wine on the weekend, a dinner out with loved ones. Don't let a little bit every day become a monthly setback you don't even notice. Your muscles don't need you to give up alcohol entirely. They just need a little moderation, a little consideration. Because whether you're 60 or 75, every bit of muscle you retain is a piece of freedom you don't need anyone's permission for. We've explored 9 seemingly minor things, not accidents, not injuries, no obvious illnesses, just missing a glass of water, missing a few hours of deep sleep, missing a serving of protein at breakfast, just one more pill, a few more hours of sitting, one more glass of wine each night. And then that just a little adds up, accumulating daily, resulting in a weakened body without us even realizing it. But the strange thing, and also the hopeful thing, is your body is always listening. Just change one small habit, and it will respond. Just stand up a little earlier, chew a little more thoroughly, go to bed a little earlier. Your body, even at age 70, can still choose to recover instead of giving up. No one expects you to fix all 9 things at once. Just pick one and do it right, consistently. Because ultimately, it's not your age that determines your strength. It's what signals you send to your own body every single day. If you've watched this video until the very end, I believe you're not someone who neglects their body. Perhaps a few of the 9 habits mentioned surprised you, or maybe you find yourself already making changes. Wherever you are on that journey, know this: no one is too late to start over. If this video made you pause to look deeper into a certain habit, please let me know with a comment. It doesn't have to be long, just a few lines, as a gentle reminder to yourself that you've begun. Thank you for listening to yourself and for staying with me until the very end. See you on the very next morning when you choose to stand up for yourself.